Welcome back, Prime Minister Mustafa Madbouli and his Tunisian counterpart Sara Zafarani. They presided over on Thursday the Egyptian-Tunisian Supreme Committee meeting at the Cabinet's headquarters and the new administrative capital. In the press conference after the meeting, Madbouli said that his talks with his Tunisian counterpart touched on boosting trade exchange between two countries, as well as pushing joint investments of private sector and fostering joint cooperation on social and economic levels. Madbouli added that several regional and international issues of mutual concern have also been tackled. He stressed both countries' support to the Palestinian stance in addition to establishing an independent Palestinian state and rejection of the deportation. Prime Minister noted that the talks also cover the situation in Libya and highlighted Egypt and Tunisia's support to Libya's unity and sovereignty. Earlier on Thursday, the Prime Ministers of Egypt and Tunisia, they signed a number of agreements and MOUs on increasing trade exchange and enhancing investments. Madbouli and Al-Zafarani launched the activities of the Egyptian-Tunisian Supreme Committee to review the chances and promising domains to pump private sector investments in Egypt and Tunisia. Very delighted to be having with us live over the phone Dr. Mongy Badr. He is an economic and political analyst. Good evening, Dr. Mongy.
Yeah, good evening for you and your viewers.
A real pleasure to have you here on Nile TV. So,
it's my honor to you.
We're talking at a very important meeting between two major Arab countries, of course, Tunisia and Egypt, where the two prime ministers met and they discussed points of mutual understandings. They signed MOUs, and on top of all, which is most importantly at this critical time, they shared the same firm stance of rejection to the displacement of the innocent Palestinians of Gaza and depriving them of their homeland. What is the importance of the timing of this Egyptian Supreme Committee meeting, especially that there is a tense inside the region? How do you read that timing of the committee?
Yeah, and in fact, let me mention main result of the Egypt-Tunisia Joint Higher Committee meeting in Cairo today. Number one, for trade growth, Egypt and Tunisia agreed to double trade and reach $1 billion in the next 2 years. Number two, new agreement. In fact, several agreements and the memorandum of understanding were signed in trade, investment, agriculture, energy, education, and other fields. Number three, for technical cooperation, experts from both countries met to discuss cooperation in development, in planning, industry, transportation, environment, and social protection. Number four, Egypt exported to Tunisia. In fact, Egyptian export to Tunisia reached $434 million in 2024, up by 15% compared with 2023. Number five, related private sector role. Both sides, Egyptian and Tunisian, encourage their private sector to invest and work together, especially in African, Arab, and European market. Number six, use of trade agreement. Both sides, they agreed to benefit from the agreement, Arab Free Trade Area, we call it GAFTA, Agadir Agreement, which include 4 Arab countries, Morocco, Tunisia, Egypt, and Jordan. And also COMESA. COMESA, it's the east and the south of Africa. And the last one, it's the African continental free trade area. And I consider this point, it's a very important point to develop economic relation between Egypt and Tunisia. Number seven, for new areas of cooperation, of course, the round discussed cooperation to expand in transportation, including railways, infrastructure, energy, aviation, tourism, agriculture, and culture. The last point for official visit. Tunisia invited His Excellency President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi to visit Tunisia. In the meantime, Egypt invited Tunisia to attend the Grand Egyptian Museum opening in November.
That is all great, but I was talking about the critical time, especially that earlier.
Yes.
Yeah, politically.
I'm going to cover this point. But I try to finish the economic side first. But for political side...
Okay, let me get in with the political side now, because what I was pointing at is that political observers are critically or importantly monitoring that committee and that important meeting between Tunisia and Egypt, especially that there was an illegal strike against a Qatari meeting and the Palestinian resistance Hamas with no respect to the international law and a complete challenge and aggression to the Middle East countries. I mean, a blatant defiance on the Israeli side. I mean, massive activities are happening. Massive aggressive activities are taking place on Israeli side. So when Egypt comes at that time, critical time, and smoothly is launching for economic partnerships with Arab countries, sharing a firm stance with Arab countries against the Israeli side and pro the Palestinian side and all that. What kind of message is Egypt trying to deliver to the other side, especially to the genocidal war in Palestine and to the United States and Israel?
Yeah, in fact, you are right to mention this very sensitive point related to the situation of the conflict between Israel and the Palestinian, and also the aggression against Qatar yesterday. And in the meantime, the situation of Egypt, it's very clear, not only on Arabian level, but also in international, that we support to set up fully independent state for Palestinians on the border of 4th of June 1967. Number two, we push all sides, even Arabian or Western side, to push and to help us to force Israel to reach a ceasefire and to admit to entering human aid by big quantities, because the quantities now it's very limited and it doesn't help for the life of our brother in Gaza Strip. For Tunisia, in fact, they use to support the Egyptian situation. And in fact, they use historically to support the Palestinian cause. In the meantime, I think what happened against Qatar a few hours back, they make very strong Arabian situation against the aggression of Israel, and in fact they should understand that our Arabian patient, it's very limited now, and I think very soon we are going to conclude Arab situation, very strong Arab situation against the exaggeration of Israel against Arab capitals. And in the meantime, we hope that United States of America understand that Israel use the American power against the Arab countries.
Right. Can I get in here, Dr.
We are going to go to the east side and to have a strategic cooperation with China or Russia or India or even Brazil.
Exactly.
And they should understand that now the world or the world order now is it changing from
exactly. Total understand of the world order, but can I get in here, please? I needed to say that the economic partnership, Egyptian-Tunisian partnership, economic, the political and cultural, is very clear now and being affected strongly on the scene. But on the other hand, there has been other partnerships between Egypt and UAE, for example, earlier, and Saudi Arabia is a great ally of Egypt, and other African countries. I mean, Egypt is establishing soft diplomacy, soft power strongly, and at this time we can notice that there was a statement that was issued from Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman supporting, calling for Arab unity, and another visit by Mohammed bin Zayed also to Qatar in support of the Arab unity. Now, whoever who is reading the scene, military confrontations does not exist, and it's not as powerful as before. Only a win-win situation. Economic confrontations and economic power is the only power balance. So is Egypt now talking the most successful language of the time?
Yeah, in fact, I hardly listen to you, but I catch some words.
I apologize.
Which I can say that the relation between Egypt and Tunisia, in fact, it's historical ties. Both countries see their relation as a deep and based on shared history and common interests. For economic priority between the two countries, we concentrate or focus on trade, investment, and joint projects. Regional cooperation both aim to enter African, Arab, and European market. For sustainable development between the two countries, cooperation also includes education, health, and capacity building. For political coordination, Egypt and Tunisia exchange views on regional and international issues and confirmed closer cooperation. For Arab situation, I can say that we have huge economic capabilities and also huge natural resources which can help us to play very active political role regionally and internationally. And all Arab countries now start to understand Egyptian situation. We call for to constitute or to set up army or army groups to protect the Arab national security. Since 2015, His Excellency Mr. President Abdel Fattah al-Sisi, on 2015 he called that we should set up or we should establish a military group to defend the Arab national security, and this group far away from to affect the independence of each Arab country. Today, after 10 years now, all Arab countries should recognize what we call since more than 10 years, and we should start to use our economic capabilities to serve our national security. And I'm sure that all Arab on official level and also on people level, they understand now what we call since more than 10 years now. We should realize it and we should execute these ideas. No one defend our national security. Only Arab countries, Arab people should defend their interests, their future, and also to realize our dream to be one bloc like European Union, or also like Mercosur, or even African Union.
Exactly. Coming up, hopefully, is expected a meeting at the Arab League here in the headquarters in Midtown Cairo, and is of course certainly attended by Arab world leaders, leading countries, of course, and Egypt is attending. And probably the main concern is going to be the Gaza crisis, and expected also, given the fact and considered the statements of Crown Prince Mohammed bin Salman and the visit of Mohammed bin Zayed from UAE to Qatar, and what happened, the aggressive strikes that took place, illegal aggressive strikes against Qatar from Israel that took place. So there could be something that massive, statements or a stance expected to be happening, already is taking place. Egypt have never been aggressive or launched for aggression or launched for military confrontations. However, Egypt is speaking the language of the new momentum, which is the win-win situation, the economic partnerships, the power balance, the language of the power balance, which is the only language that the United States understands. So from what is expected to be happening, how do you read the coming phase to be taking place amongst Arab leaders?
Yeah, in fact, I wanted to shed more light about this point because it's very sensitive, that America and the Western countries doesn't understand to be a little bit soft with them, that you should be strong, you should reflect your economic capabilities on your political situation. Number two, what happened against our brother in Qatar? In fact, it's a very shame that they have military settlement, American and the British, and the Korean predict about the aggression of Israel against Doha. In the meantime, we should start our steps step by step. It's not suitable to have a very tough situation this day. Allow us, for all Arab countries, through the Arab League, to arrange our situation and to repair and to try to settle our disputes smoothly and peacefully first. And number two, to try to understand our economic capabilities. Number three, to try to start to have political or one political situation against the main points regionally and internationally.
Exactly.
So it's not wise to have aggressive or tough situation now against the United States of America or Israel or Western countries.
Exactly. Can I just end it with a
to understand?
Okay. A final, another question that might cross the minds of every economic analyst and political one also at the same time is that the language or what was fit for the last century is not fit for this century, which means that waging wars is not suitable to be able to confront power balances and power countries, but also it is the only most important confrontation is the economic confrontations. So do we expect from such stances and situation that is taking place in different Arab countries that there is expected economic sanctions to be taken by Arab countries? We're not talking about expelling the American troops in Saudi Arabia or Qatar or whatever. That is not important. But what's most importantly is the oil and gas. That is also the economic sanctions that could be taken strongly, a firm stance taken, the power of win-win situation and economy, or a power of financial power that could be taken by the Arab countries, similar to what was taken in the 7th of October 1973. So do we expect scenarios like that?
What I can say in this point is that Arab leaders, they are very wise people, and they are going to sit together and to discuss the coming action to think very clear message to America and to Israel that from today, we are going to use our economic capabilities and natural resources for our interest first. This number one. Number two, it's not wise at all to have aggression situation or immediate situation now. Let us sit together and to discuss what we can do to maximize the use of our natural resources for the benefit of our people. Number two, how we can maximize using of our natural resources in favor of all Arab countries. Number three, world order doesn't understand the soft policies, but they understand the language of power. How we can develop our military armies in all Arab countries, and how we can prepare our teenage or our youth to understand the real situation, how to defend their future. The last point, I would like to conclude my intervention that we should use the language of wisdom.
Right. At the end of the day, I would like to thank you, Dr. Mongy Badr, an economic and political expert. Thank you for talking to us on Nile TV. Welcome back. Right now, it is the start.